It all started with a man who didn't look dangerous, Leonardo Notarbartolo, a well-dressed Italian, always calm, always polite. To everyone in the Antwerp Diamond Center, he was just another dealer renting a small office on the second floor. He came and went like the others, smiling at guards, sipping coffee in the lobby, chatting with building staff. But behind those friendly eyes was a mind planning one of the most daring robberies the world had ever seen. Leonardo wasn't just a diamond dealer. He was a thief, and a very good one. For 18 months, he pretended to be part of the diamond world. He walked the same halls every day, learning how the building worked. He paid attention to every detail. When the guards changed shifts, how the vault security operated, and even what the janitors did at night. But he wasn't working alone. Leonardo was part of a secret crew. Highly skilled criminals known in Italy as La Scuola di Torino, the School of Turin. These men weren't ordinary crooks. They were experts in electronics, locks, movement, and strategy. And they had one goal: to rob the most secure vault in Europe, right under everyone's nose. This chapter in their story wasn't about the vault, not yet. This was the setup. This was patience, precision, and planning. It was about blending in and building trust. Because sometimes the best way to break into a fortress is to walk through the front door. 2 floors underground, buried beneath the Antwerp Diamond Center, was a vault like no other. This wasn't just a room with a big door. It was a fortress built to defeat even the smartest thief. 10 layers of security stood between Leonardo's crew and the diamonds. First, there was a steel gate. Then, a lock that could create 100 million combinations. There were motion detectors, heat sensors, seismic alarms that could feel a whisper of vibration, and magnetic fields on the vault door. Even the walls had infrared detection. The vault door itself was 3 tons of solid steel. It could only open with both a key and a code, and the code changed every day. To the outside world, this vault was impossible. But to Leonardo and his team, it was a challenge. One by one, they studied each layer. The genius, the crew's tech expert, bought the exact same alarm systems and tested them in a rented warehouse. The King of Keys practiced on similar locks. The monster, strong, silent, fearless, built tools to move metal panels quietly. They even found a way to beat the heat sensors: simple black plastic and a piece of styrofoam. It wasn't magic. It was an obsession. They built a copy of the vault, rehearsed the heist hundreds of times, every screw, every switch, every motion, practiced to perfection. They knew the vault wasn't a machine. It was a puzzle, and they were going to solve it. No one pulls off a job this big alone. Behind Leonardo stood a team of specialists, each with a role as precise as clockwork. First, there was the genius, a quiet, sharp-minded electronics expert. He could disable alarm systems, build custom tools, and fake sensor signals with a wave of his hand. In any other life, he might have worked for NASA. Next was the monster, the muscle of the crew, tall, strong, and silent. He could carry equipment up flights of stairs or rip a metal panel from a wall without making a sound. But he was no brute. He had nerves of steel and hands steady as a surgeon. The King of Keys was a master locksmith. He could copy any key from a single glimpse. He once built a duplicate of a complex vault key from a blurry security photo. No lock was safe from him. And then came the shade, the lookout, the ghost. He was the man behind the scenes, watching from parked cars, blending into crowds, always alert. If the police were near, if a camera moved, he saw it first. Together they formed a perfect circle of talent. Each knew only what he needed to. Trust was silent. There were no texts, no emails, only face-to-face meetings in safe houses and parking lots. Every detail was practiced, every step rehearsed. They didn't act like criminals. They acted like professionals, disciplined, patient, and invisible. That's how they stayed undetected for years. That's how they got ready for the night that would make history. It was February 15th, 2003, a quiet Saturday night in Antwerp. While most of the city slept, Leonardo and his team stepped into the shadows of history. They had picked this weekend carefully. It was a long holiday weekend in Belgium. The Diamond Center would be mostly empty. Fewer people meant fewer eyes. The plan was simple, at least on paper. They would enter the building late at night, slip past every layer of security, empty as many safe deposit boxes as they could, and vanish before sunrise. They started by entering through a side door Leonardo had access to as a tenant. The first few floors were easy. Then they reached the vault floor, and the real work began. The King of Keys used his handmade copy to unlock the steel grate. The genius disabled the alarm sensors using custom circuits he had built over months. The monster moved aside heavy security panels and sealed off motion detectors with tape and plastic. One by one, they dismantled the system. The vault door, 3 tons of steel, was left locked. But Leonardo had found a way around it, a small hole in the wall of a utility room that led into the back of the vault. It had been hidden behind a panel, and no one had ever noticed. It was slow, dangerous, but it worked. Inside the vault, they had one goal: the safe deposit boxes. Each box could hold gold, cash, jewels worth millions. They opened them one at a time. Not with explosives, but with skill. They used screwdrivers, pliers, and focus. For 6 hours, they worked in silence. Then, just before dawn, they packed up and walked out the same way they came in. Quiet, clean, and unseen. By the time Monday came, they were already gone. Monday morning, February 17th, 2003. Employees at the Antwerp Diamond Center arrived as usual. Until they saw the vault, the steel door was still locked. There were no signs of forced entry, but inside, chaos. Over 100 of the 160 safe deposit boxes had been emptied. Jewelry, gold, loose diamonds, all gone. Some boxes were even found stacked neatly in a corner, their contents missing. The police were stunned. No alarms had gone off, no broken doors, no fingerprints, no footage. It was like the thieves had vanished into air. They called it the heist of the century. Estimated value? Over $100 million. But it wasn't just about money. It was the silence, the precision, the ghost-like method. Who could pull this off? Investigators combed the vault for clues. They found little until a breakthrough came from a nearby forest. A local farmer had reported trash dumped on his land. Inside the trash? A half-eaten sandwich, some receipts, and a torn-up document. That sandwich would change everything. It had Leonardo Notarbartolo's DNA. The police tracked him down. He was already known in criminal circles and had been posing as a diamond merchant in the building for years. The trash had led to the mastermind, but catching Leonardo wasn't enough. Where were the diamonds? Who were the others? And how had they done it all so quietly? The mystery was far from over. Leonardo Notarbartolo never planned to be caught, but a half-eaten sandwich in a trash bag put his face on every police board in Belgium. When detectives arrested him, he didn't panic. He smiled. He denied everything. He said he was just a diamond dealer, wrong place, wrong time. The truth was, Leonardo was a career they. He'd spent decades pulling off small heists across Europe. But this job? This was different. This was the crown jewel. The Belgian police called him the mastermind. But Leonardo? He didn't see himself that way. In interviews, he said, "I'm just a thief, not a genius. I did what any smart person could do." But the truth is, he was lying. Leonardo wasn't just a thief. He was an architect of crime. He planned every detail, recruited the perfect team, and spent years earning trust. He had studied the vault like a scientist. He found the blind spots. He exploited the weaknesses. When the police questioned him, he gave them nothing. No names, no locations, no diamonds. They searched his home, his office, his car, nothing. He played dumb. But deep down, he knew one thing. They could arrest him. They could sentence him, but they would never find the loot. And so, Leonardo waited. For years, he kept his mouth shut. Even in prison, he never revealed the full story. Some say he hid diamonds in secret vaults across Europe. Others believe the rest of the crew vanished with the riches. To this day, over $100 million worth of diamonds and gold have never been recovered. Leonardo walked free after serving only a fraction of his sentence. But the mystery? It remains unsolved. Was he really the mastermind? Or was someone else pulling the strings? Even after Leonardo was caught, the most important question remained. Where did the diamonds go? The Antwerp police searched every corner of Belgium. Airports, banks, safety deposit boxes, storage units. But they found nothing. No gold, no cash, not even a single missing gem. It was like the treasure had vanished. Authorities believed the loot was moved quickly, possibly before the police even realized the robbery had happened. The thieves likely used fake identities, private couriers, and inside connections to smuggle everything out of the country. Some say the diamonds were melted into gold bars. Others believe they were sold to dealers in Dubai, Israel, or even hidden in private collections. One theory is that the diamonds never left Antwerp. They're still buried in a wall, under a building, or stored in a secret safe. Only the crew knows the truth. But the biggest twist? Leonardo later claimed the heist wasn't even his idea. In an interview, he said a shady diamond dealer had approached him with the plan and then double-crossed him. Leonardo claimed the dealer took the diamonds and vanished, leaving him behind to take the fall. Was it a lie? Or was Leonardo telling the truth? No one knows. But the missing diamonds? They've become a legend of their own. A $100 million fortune, stolen in the most daring way, and never seen again. To this day, the Antwerp Diamond Heist remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in criminal history. Years have passed since the world learned about the daring Antwerp Diamond Heist. But even now, the story refuses to fade. Some call it a perfect crime. A job pulled off with no alarms, no violence, and almost no clues. A true blueprint for thieves around the world. Others call it a tragedy for the diamond industry. A wake-up call that even the most secure vaults can be broken into with enough time, patience, and planning. And then, there's the legend. People still talk about the School of Turin, a rumored crew of elite Italian thieves said to be behind the heist. Leonardo was allegedly just one part of a much bigger machine, a machine built for high-level international crimes. But no one has ever confirmed their existence. Some believe they're still out there, plotting another job. In pop culture, the heist has inspired books, documentaries, podcasts, and even Hollywood rumors. Everyone wants to know, how did they do it? Where are the diamonds? Who else was involved? Even today, the answers are hidden behind silence and shadows. Leonardo has given interviews, but never the full truth. His words are like puzzle pieces that never quite fit. Some think he enjoys the attention. Others believe he's protecting someone, or something. What's clear is this. The Antwerp Diamond Heist wasn't just a theft. It was a legend in the making. A tale of risk, betrayal, and vanishing fortune. And it left behind a question that may never be answered. Can the perfect crime ever really stay perfect? And that was the untold story of the greatest diamond heist in history. But what do you think? Do you believe Leonardo was the mastermind? Or was he just a pawn in a bigger game? And most importantly, where do you think the diamonds are now? We want to hear your theory. Drop your wildest guess in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if this story blew your mind, and subscribe for more true crime stories that the world almost forgot. And hey, if you were planning the perfect heist, what would you do differently? Let us know in the comments. This isn't just a story, it's a mystery waiting for your voice. See you in the next one.